What's up, family? It's your boy Deviant the Digger, aka Mr. Everything OG.
And it's me, the B Double, Instagram's finest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Everything OG. This is the show where we basically talk about records and our love for vinyl. Two avid diggers in the game. You know what I mean? And we got a couple of records to talk about today that show some of our favorite records and a little bit of story behind how we got the record and a little anecdotes about the records itself. So anything. You know what I'm saying? Mr. B Dub, aka Building Block, you know what I'm saying? Instagram's finest. Real quick though, man, explain how you got into the digging game, man. So for those that don't know, you know what I'm
saying? My parents' records, you know what I'm saying? My father had a big record collection, and when hip hop came about, looking for samples, and when I got to college, the 90s came in and Premier was tearing it up, and I was like, yo, where did he get that from? And I was like, I got to find that record. And, just from there, digging, and, and as you see.
Yeah, we get my boy B-Dub's layer right now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The records behind us speak for themselves, you know what I mean? Yeah. In the digging game, you know what I'm saying? As for myself, Deviant the Digger, you know what I'm saying? I've been digging technically since I was like 6-7 years old. You know what I mean? On a technical scale, you know what I mean? Like when I first heard music, you know what I'm saying? My parents was playing music in the game, you know what I'm saying? In the house, around the house, you know what I mean? Music was always blaring. And even when my parents split up, when I was young, I first lived with my moms. I used to tell my mom, every week she would go to the record store to buy a record. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Music, you know what I mean? So as I started getting this stuff, I said, Mom, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna buy your son some music? Because, you know what I mean? So she said, all right. So she bought me a little Fisher-Price record player.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then she got me, my stack. You know what I mean? So she would go, every week we go to the record store. You know what I'm saying? She'd get a couple records for herself and a couple records for me. So it started from there, my love of records. As you said, hip-hop came more into play. You know what I'm saying? And, all these rap groups and rap artists and producers was using samples. I started getting more into it, and that led me to even fall in love with more different type of music because of what they were sampling. I wanted to know what it was, and then as I found out what it was, I started liking that music even more and more. You know what I'm saying? So then, just really went full-fledged with it. Now, 20-some years, 25 odd years later, you know what I'm saying, and thousands of records, later, you know what I'm saying. Hadn't stopped yet, you know what I mean? Deviant the Digger, you know what I mean?
Stop digging.
Yes, sir.
We want to share our top 5 records with you. These are our favorite records that we've dug up, found, just can't get enough of. So, with that said, Bob James.
Nice.
This was the first record I paid $20 for. This was the first record I went sample hunting for. I think Onyx Throw Your Guns in the Air was popping, and I liked how he freaked it, and I was like, yo, it was a dude. This was when I was in Atlanta, and it was a brother. He had I used to go up to the radio station on Sunday nights. Shout out to my man Talib, or him and this dude Randall, in Georgia State, and they had this hip hop show. So they played the records, man, and come go up there, hang out and stuff. I can't remember the brother's name, but he was a DJ, and he had played the Onyx joint. I was like, yo, you know what that record is? I've been trying to figure out what that sample is. He told me Bob James Nautilus, and I was like, okay, So he put me on to this dealer. Dude's name was Richard, lived in Decatur, and house full of records. I'm talking about the kitchen, records stacked up on the stove. He sold the Dungeon Family and sold at the trade shows. I don't know if he's still in the game, but I went up there and I brought a $20 bill with me. I'm thinking, okay, I'm used to records being 50 cents, $1.
Yeah.
If I spent $5 on the record, that was some money. I'm in college now. I ain't got no job. I got work study. I got a little gas money, $10. I'm buying 50-cent records and $1 records. I'm coming home with a stack. So,
right.
He pulled the record out, and he was like $20.
Wow.
And, you know, I didn't have the slickness in me to try to haggle and shit. I was like, okay, you know, give my 20.
You're 20.
I was like, okay.
Time bombing for the rest of the week.
You know, I'm hoping this motherfucker's bad. The rest of it at least, cause shit. You know. So yeah, this was my first
nice.
My first big piece. Bob James 1.
Nice. I like that. That's a good start right there. All right, let me go ahead and swing in here, man. Actually, this is one of my favorite bands and groups of all time. When I was like in the I say like 10th grade, I believe. Actually, it might have been 11th or 12th though, actually. But I was in high school, and at that time, I really started getting into Parliament Funkadelic a lot. So I was like making it a mission to like go out and grab every Parliament Funkadelic record I could find. In fact, me and my homie had a contest to see who would win to get them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, not the bootleg ones and just the real albums that came out. And we had a contest, man, and I won. You know what I'm saying? The last one I needed was Osmium. You know what I'm saying? And I found it. I mean,
okay.
I got a story about that later. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, all the P-Funk albums, this one right here, I believe, is my number one. You know, this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? You got multiple copies of this record. I got multiples of this record, and as you should. It's my favorite album by them because it's just it's like a tour de force into like weird, funky, you know what I'm saying, soul / a little with a sprinkle of rock. You know what I'm saying? And this album is crazy. The back cover right there. You can see a little like.
That's like the Redman. Well, Redman bit off that cover.
Bit the cover, yeah. But this one has it means a lot to me because just the whole album is just a straight ill acid trip, but the music is good though. And my favorite cuts is Can You Get to That and Hit It and Quit It, 2 bangers. Along with and Super Stupid is ill too, and this is dope. And I remember after I got this album back in those days when I was in high school, I actually met one of the guys from this band, Billy Bass Nelson. Rest in peace. I believe he passed away recent, since then. But Billy Bass, I had actually met him and I actually got his phone number and I called him and talked to him on the phone for like a long time.
Damn.
We had a long conversation and I was asking all kind of questions, man, about the band and studio, all kind of stuff. You know, George Clinton. This is one of the best albums ever made right here. So this is in my top 5 for sure. What's your next top, brother?
Ah, man. This album here, this is another 90s joint right here. You know, when I heard them sampling, I was like, I got to find that too. This one was a surprise. The JB. I didn't even know when I got this album what was going to be on it. But you know, at the time, Show and AG was killing it with
their first album, or their first EP.
What was the name of that song? I can't forget.
Yeah, it was
Soul Clap.
Soul
Can
Clap.
I Get a Soul Clap? And Organized Confusion. That was the joint right there. What was that? Fudge. Yeah, with OC on it. Oh, again, I heard the song. I was like, I gotta find the sample.
And
that bass line.
Cypress Hill, I'm the real one. The funky feel when you does a breakdown.
I got this record. It was a Saturday, rainy day Saturday. I went to my man, I think his name, I went to school at Morehouse in Atlanta, and there was a brother there. I can't remember. I think his name was Jamal. Anyway, I had just getting in production and buying records, and I had spread the word I'm looking for records. And he's like, yo, I got some records, man. My pops come through, and you pick some out. So, I was going through the records, and I think that's where I got my first Kool and the Gangs and stuff like that. And I grabbed this record. And shout out to him, man, because I still owe him $50 because he gave them to me on credit, and I never got around to paying them, and I apologize. So if you're watching and you remember the face, I apologize, my man.
Checks in the mail.
Hit me with your PayPal in the comments, and I'll take care of you. No inflation, though. So I got it home, and I put it on, and was like, it took me on the trip because it's like the introduction to the JBs. It was like, oh, this is where they got that from. They're doing it to death. That's right there. That's a Chicago classic. And I never knew that it was them. That gonna have a funky good time.
Yeah.
Gonna take it. I think I must have played that like twice before I even got to More Peas. When I finally got to More Peas and that breakdown, I think I played this record. Like my girl at the time, she was like, "Nigga, if you don't stop playing that damn record,
we're breaking up."
You know. Side 2 is dope, but I was just playing side 1 over and over because that was everybody sampled from it. And I was like, I felt like a digger that day when I found that record.
No doubt about it. Well, keeping on the tradition, on that same line, that lineage, I got a JB's record myself. You know what I mean? This is it's called Damn Right I'm Somebody. And this is my favorite JB's record / James Brown record, if you will.
Right.
And this album has a lot of history in terms of hip hop, as you say. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where Public Enemy got the clip, the little loop for the song Public Enemy. It was in their first album. And the most famous James Brown sample that they used was the grunt.
Yeah.
Without applause, but this has the sample for the song Public Enemy.
Yeah.
It's like a weird siren.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was like the first single that Public Enemy ever came out with as Public Enemy. I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, like, all the early Chuck D radio stuff that came out before that. Some of Public Enemy. And, you know what I'm saying? But this album right here, though, it's got some really good songs. Blow Your Head Out, She Is the Cut. I just mentioned you got Damn Right I'm Somebody. Banging. And if you're a real, you know what I'm saying, digger, you know what I'm saying, you want to grab the promo copy of this album because there's an extra song on there where they do a version of Love and Happiness.
Yeah.
By Al Green. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how it just came out of nowhere. And if you get every time you see this album, you usually don't see that copy, that version.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still good. But just if you extra digger, get the promo copy with the Love and Happiness. It's a banger. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you, JB's James Brown, classic.
This one right here, true story. Before I even tell you what this album is, how I found this record.
Okay.
So then, I think this was the time. It was a Saturday. All my records I find on Saturdays, man. And it was raining.
Again?
And I was driving in my girl Celica. And I had the tape, Ultramagnetic MCs. I don't know, it was Funk Your Head Up, or which is the one with it was their second album. Okay. It was their second album. I forgot the name of it. Mm-hmm. And I was playing it in the intro, and I was like, "Yo, that is the illest shit I ever heard. Whatever that sample is." And I read the credits, and it was like Hamilton Bohannon, and I was like, Hamilton Bohannon. I gotta find that. So back then, there was this thrift store in East Point, Georgia, I used to go to. And the records was 50 cents. And the whole wall, you had to get on the ladder.
Wow.
It was that high, that many records. It must have been an old DJ collection or something. But they had maybe 5 shelves. 45s was 10 cents. Records was 50 cents. So I'm digging through. And this is what I believe about the power of thought. If you want something bad enough, and you say, "I'm gonna find this record,"
it's coming.
The universe works with you, and you get it. I said, "Yo, I want to find that record." And midway through the dig, I pulled the record out. Didn't have no cover, but it was just the record. And I looked at it. I said, "Oh, Hamilton Bohannon. I wanted this one." I saw the song name, and I was like, "Oh, snap. Save Their Soul."
Right.
Man.
So you found it.
I got it. Paid my little 50 cents. Took it home. But then, the bonus was...
What's the bonus?
Remember that LOG song? I got to have it.
I was about to say LOG used it too.
He used singing the song for my mother. didn't give a damn. I mean, after I heard it, I was like, yo, that's another one where I was like, save their souls. And you couldn't tell me I wasn't a digger. When I found that record, I was like, yo, I'm a digger.
I'm official.
I'm official, kid.
And my next one in the game. Bam! See that real quick. Get a picture though. It's SOUL. What is it? And man, I mean, whoo. I mean, where do you start with this one? You know what I'm saying? Because this album is just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this album is a banger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for all you soul lovers out there, this one right here. I mean, when I say soul, I mean soul music.
Yeah.
This a must-have, right?
Must.
This is a must-have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you got Message from a Black Man, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got Burning Spear on here. Get Ready. You know what I'm saying? They version of Get Ready. It's pretty dope. And not to mention, I think DJ Premier, my favorite producer, used something off here for MOP. You know what I'm saying? Banging sample on here that he used for for MOP. So, yo, I'm telling you right now, diggers out there, man, this one right here. Put the record back in here nice and neatly. You know what I'm saying? This one right here, once again,
SOUL.
Bang it. It's a banger and you have to grab it.
So, continue on. Oh, man. James Brown. If you haven't noticed a theme, James Brown rules because he's the gateway into everything.
And why this one, Black Caesar?
Oh, man. Lord Finesse, Ice-T, Poor Righteous Teachers, Das Effects, Blind Man Can See It, The Boss. The Boss is what grabbed me. That bass line, when I heard that on that Lord Finesse first album.
That's a banger. And Ice-T too.
Ice-T, Poor Righteous Teachers, but Lord Finesse was the one. When I heard it, I was like, yo, what is that?
Amazing record. Amazing.
And I got that, and I was just like, yo. I couldn't get past side one. I mean, Mama Feel Good, if you like, that's another one for those who are a fan of Big Daddy Kane and everything. But Blind Man Can See It and The Boss, they got burned. When I first, it's funny because I saw the movie first. That's how I knew about the record because I saw the movie, and when I saw the movie, I heard the sample. I was like, yo, I gotta find that soundtrack, and I hunted it down, and every time out and about now I see it, I grab it. Most time I see it for like $5 or so, I grab it. And I leave no copy behind unless it's
so this is another record that you have multiple copies of.
Man, I got about maybe 5 or 6 of these.
All right, man. Moving right along. Another classic album for me. This is one of my favorite albums, and there's not more I can say about it in terms of how I feel about this record because I think it's just, I think the vocal arrangement and the music is incredible. And that's this record right here. This is Mike James Perfect, Hang On In There. Soul record. It's one of my favorite soul records of all time. But not only that, but one of my favorite records of all time. That's why it's in my top 5. First time I found out about this record, actually, I was I think I was in high school or a little bit after high school maybe. And a friend of mine who was in the records also from around the way named Tracy. One time I went over to Tracy's house and I was looking through his records and he had like another 2 or 3 crates with like just regular, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just regular records, you know what I'm saying? And in there he had this and I was like, what is this? Because I didn't know. He's like, yes, my pops, man, he gave that to me, man. These were his records. He gave me his records. I was like, okay, and I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's the first time I seen the record. So later on down the line, you know what I'm saying, years and years later when I got really into digging and I got a hold of this record myself, I just fell in love with it, man. It's just like a great soul singing, and he basically kind of sounds like a young Marvin Gaye in a lot of ways to me. In terms of, you can tell he's influenced by Marvin Gaye. On the song "Hang On In There," he's definitely trying to do what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
West Coast, his West Coast version of what's going on. You know what I'm saying, and he's got some vocal inflections of what Marvin would do. You know what I'm saying? In some of you know what I mean.
You're really deep into that record, huh?
Yeah, I mean he's got some inflections of some of the his inflections are Marvin influenced. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's better than Marvin. Nobody's better than Marvin. Anyway, he definitely is influenced by Marvin, but some of the songs on here are just all bangers. He has another album too called Doing It Right, which is dope too.
I seen it the other day for $400.
Woo, crazy. Now, yeah, that album is a banger too. If I had to choose between the two, this is one right here is my favorite, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Next one.
This one needs no introduction. Let me tell the story first. Back then in the 80s, watching BT, and this video comes on.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is in a helicopter.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay. Then this drum beat comes on.
Mm.
Boom, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, boom, cat, boom, cat. Extra, extra. Read all about it. This bass line, this funky ass bass line came on. I was like, that's Atomic Dog. But what the fuck is the drum beat?
Oh, wow.
Steezo.
Uh-huh.
Son. Shout out to Paul C.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Psh. And I was like, what is this? I think years down the line, like, yo, Skull Snaps. I think I had him like a comp album first.
Shout out to I think Dooley too, right? Dooley,
yeah, he was the first one to use it.
Yeah.
He found it. Steezo and Paul
they got it from him, right?
Got it from him. Mm-hmm. Came out with it 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Caused them a little bad blood because like, yo, son, how you gonna steal my beat? Shit was serious back in the 80s, man. Because you know, you caught a beat, you want to be known for it, and yeah, they took his glory. But I think they worked it out over the years, and they speaking and stuff again. And last year, I was on a mission. Had a bunch of disposable income, and I saw it pop up on the auction, and I was like, yo,
done deal.
I'm getting that record. Shout out to Carolina Soul, because they had it on their auction. That's where I got it from.
And you almost got outbidded, right?
Nah, I bid high as shit. I was making sure I got this album. I think I overpaid. Matter of fact, I know I overpaid. I want the record, man.
Hey, man.
You know,
I mean,
go hard to go home.
That's a legendary record right there, man. Sometimes you gotta do that. You know what I mean? It's a piece that you really want. My last album, in my opinion, humble opinion, but I almost don't see how it can be disputed. Is my favorite album of all time. I think it's the greatest album of all time, and that's this record right here. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. But the whole album is just amazing. I mean, like, and you know, I mean, I don't want to even. I almost don't even explain this record. It speaks for itself. But you know, I mean, when I grew up as a child, man, my pops used to play this record like to death, like he was playing at JB's.
Yeah.
My pops played this record like that. You know what I'm saying? And this whole album, man, is just so amazing. Every song, it's not a fast forward on here. I'll say the side that starts with "I Wish," that whole side could be an album by itself.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the side my pops will wear out the most.
Yeah. But
I Wish knocks me off my feet. Pastime Paradise, Summer Soft, Ordinary Pain. I mean, it's woo. And you got Sir Duke on the other side. You got Love's Anita, Love the Day. You know what I'm saying? Which I believe he sung at the Whitney Houston funeral.
Yeah, that was
was Ghetto Land. I mean, dude, this is a masterpiece, you guys. A masterpiece. This was Stevie was in a zone. I mean, I don't know if he was on Mad Coke or what.
Why would you say that Stevie Wonder does coke, man?
Hey, all them stores do drugs, man. But
yeah, Stevie, come on, man.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he was
allegedly.
On. I don't know what he was
sued about.
I don't know what he was on, but
he wasn't on nothing, man. That's a musical genius, man.
But just playing. But like I mean, hey, this album right here, man, I mean so much to me. And this is like you say, this is pure genius in its pure form. This album to me is the greatest of all time. Period. I mean, bar none. Out of all record, bar none to me. This is the greatest record of all time. You know what I'm saying? And as we said, everything OG. You know what I'm saying? This is the show. We have all time topics, you guys. You know what I'm saying? We go through every time you tune into our show, it's gonna be some new topics that we develop. You know what I'm saying? That we go into. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're gonna have a lot of records on every time you see us on our show. We have a lot of records to display. It's gonna be Stuntsville. You know what I mean? Coming up real soon. You know, when we started off real light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he started with the skull snaps.
But
he started with the skull snaps.
You put Mike James Kirk
you know what I'm saying? but I mean,
SOUL.
You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be Stuntsville real quick. You know what I mean? We just wanted to start you off lightly with our top favorite records we listen to all the time. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to get into Grail City, that's coming too.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So Mr. Everything OG, your boy Deep in the Digger.
Be double. And if you like, have suggestions, leave them in the comments. We'll check them out. We'll get back to you.
Alright. Peace.
This ain't gonna be no Q-tip fight. But this nigga fight was whack on the first album. But that second one he came with. Nah, he ain't gonna outshine me.